Welcome to the Midlife Leap, a lifestyle talk show for women in midlife. I'm your host, Sanita Johnson, and I am excited to share tips and interviews on topics ranging from business, career, current news, fashion, shopping, health, travel, and so much more. And because I'm known as the Midlife Leap Coach, from time to time, I'll share some of my signature Midlife Leap coaching tips. So come on, ladies, let's reignite and reimagine our midlife leap journey together. Ladies, this episode is about staying healthy and vibrant. So I found some tips on how to keep your gut in shape. But not necessarily a flat gut, but your inner gut. Because constipation becomes for many of us, constipation becomes a greater issue as we get older. So I found some tips in the AARP Bulletin, the May 2021 issue. Now, unfortunately, many of us get addicted to OTC laxatives because we can't naturally go on our own. But what OTC laxatives do is that they interfere with how our body absorbs nutrients, which is already an issue as we get older. So that's something, I'm not saying you can't use it, that's something you would need to discuss with your physician, but you definitely don't want to become dependent upon them. But so what you want to do is look for ways to add more fiber to your diet, such as just foods such as kiwi, prunes, Rupert, of course, beans. I like Raisin Bran, especially the organic brands that are out on the market. There's some other great options that you can consider. In episode 7, I mentioned that I also take buffered vitamin C. I also take fiber tabs. Now, of course, any supplements that you may add to your diet and any dietary changes, you need to consult a physician, your physician. But I wanted to show you, I use specifically the fiber tablets. This is a natural capsule. I feel that my body absorbs it a lot better and I get greater results than just the pills that are on the market. But also, I brought the buffered vitamin C. It is a powder, and at least this one is. I think you can buy some capsules that are for buffered vitamin C as well. But I like this because I put it in my water throughout the day. Every time I change my water bottle, I add literally a small spoonful. It depends upon taste. You can add a heaping. This is, I guess, a little tiny teaspoon. I'm not sure what this is. But it's an extra small spoon. And I use this to basically to scoop out the buffered vitamin C and put it in my water. And I find with that, it's just I'm a lot more consistent than I've ever been in my entire life. Then there's breathing exercises that are mentioned because this helps to relieve stress and anxiety. Deep breathing is just good overall for your health as well. There's another tip that was listed that I also utilize, is to place a step stool in front of the commode. The idea is that you want your knees to be above your hips so that you're in more of a squatting position. This basically straightens out the lower part of your colon so you can pass your stools more easily. There are squatting stools, I guess that's what you call them, on the market. Some of them are kind of expensive in my opinion. It's like for a plastic stool, I think they're like $40 or more, but they're kind of bulky, which is why I didn't go that route. What I did, and you've seen this before, you may already have one, is those little folding stools that you can get at Target, Walmart, pretty much anywhere these days for about $6, $7, and they're easy to put away. You can tuck this little bad boy underneath your counter in the bathroom, or what I do is I have it in between my trash can and the wall of the cabinet. That way when I'm ready to use it, I can pull it out, put my feet up there, do what I need to do and get it out the way so that it doesn't get in the way of my honey when he needs to use the commode, the toilet. And just overall, these are just some great tips to keep your gut in check and healthy, because your gut is tied, just like everything in our body. They're all connected. So just keep yourself as healthy as possible. And come on, we're going to talk to our next guest who has some great health tips for you as well. Do you ask yourself, why am I gaining weight in my midsection? This seems to be a huge issue with us women as we're getting older, right? Well, Laurie Tucker is joining us today to share health and wellness tips for midlife women to specifically lose weight in the midsection. She's an expert health and wellness coach and founder of Well Styles Consulting, a company dedicated to improving your well-being. Armed with a master's degree in health promotion management, Laurie shares her health and wellness tips in private sessions, workshops, and webinars. The thought of losing weight might not excite you, but Laurie is dedicated to making being healthy feel like fun and not a chore. Now that's great news. So Laurie, I am so excited to get started. Thank you so much for joining us today. As you can tell, I'm wearing my workout gear. My hair up.
I love it.
So tell us, okay, there's so much conflicting and confusing information out there when it comes about, losing weight. Mm-hmm. What would you tell someone who wants to make some changes, but she has no idea where she should begin?
Yeah. Super common question, and one I always like to address at the outset. In addition to talking to someone who is knowledgeable, which is always a good thing, get some good advice. But also I always like people to just take a moment and pause and really get to the what they're wanting, the why of it. Because if we only go into something wanting to, say, lose weight or run a marathon, sometimes when we don't hit that goal, or when we're chasing after it, we're finding that we're starting to lose motivation. So thinking about what it is that we're really wanting from losing weight or getting active, whether that the why might be, we might not actually want to just lose weight, but we want to feel more energetic. We want to feel strong. Maybe we want to feel just good again. We've kind of got our groove back. And you got it. Exactly. Yeah. And that wanting, that motivation will keep us on track, even when it might get a little bit tough. So the facts are good. Our to-do lists are great when we're thinking about making changes in life, be it anything. But one of the best ingredients to think about when we're making a change is what are we wanting from it? Why are we doing this? And make sure it comes from a place of what's coming from our heart. Because if we're doing something just because someone tells us to do it, we're not going to keep it up usually. But if we want it, most of us get it. We go after it. So that would be the first thing. And then
understanding why, as we get older, it seems like we're gaining specifically in our midlife.
Yes. And then the next piece is, thinking about okay, things might be changing a little bit, and it's not your imagination. Things do shift as we get a little older, and I'm talking like 30s. We're not talking really far away down the road. For women, our hormones tend to start shifting. We go through lots of changes, whether monthly, whether when we hit puberty, and then again in our 30s, things already start to shift again. And as a result of those, the estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, thyroid, growth hormone, all these changes start to occur, and our hormones can get out of balance. So this can be our mid to late 30s, 40s, 50s. And this can cause some internal stress. So we often think of stress outside of our body, but this can actually be coming, the enemy is within. The stress is in our body. It's because of our hormones are a little out of whack. And because of that extra cortisol, if you heard about cortisol, often people think of it like, oh yeah, I think that can make me gain weight. And cortisol does tend to lead to extra weight gain in our midsection.
So what can we do to naturally balance our hormones, though?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, so some things are in our control. Some things are out of our control. Exercise is one powerful tool we have in our toolkit to help. It actually can help increase growth hormone, which can help us feel really good, help kind of keep the clock at bay a bit. So exercise, we want to aim for 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity. Aim for moderate. That would be the place I would start.
150 minutes a week?
A week.
A week.
Okay. Sorry, a day. Oh, a week. I think we're people about to hit click. A week. Yeah, 150 minutes a week. Try, if you can kind of put it all together. Strength training is really good. You can integrate strength training with some of that activity, but try for 2 sessions a week of some strength training. And you don't have to go to the gym. There's lots you can do in your house, just using your body weight. And that is great. So that's one big piece. When we want to think about countering cortisol, so limiting, I'm sorry, I'm a coffee drinker too, but really I'm thinking about caffeine intake. Caffeine can increase that stress response in our body. So think about maybe tapering down a little bit. I would never take a morning coffee away from anybody. So think about limiting. No, I could never do that. I would instead think about maybe cutting down a little bit. Limiting alcohol, that's a place there can be sort of a creep as the years go by. Maybe we used to not have any during the week, then we started doing one at dinner every night, and then 2 through the night. So that's a place to really start thinking about alcohol and
with any foods, anything, diets, others.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and then thinking about on your plate. So now look at your plate. Try to have 50% of your plate vegetables, good quality protein, so lean protein. And then for grains, think about you can think about whole grains. Some people call them slow grains, basically not really processed. So quinoa, farro. At your breakfast, maybe oatmeal is a good one. And
so tell me this, because basically everything you're saying is the same information we got when we were young.
Yep.
Regarding our diet: exercise, vegetables, fruits, protein. Yep. So what I guess right there, a disconnect came across. Like, are we just not doing what we know we're supposed to do, that we've learned all along? Like something in midlife where we just forget, we get too busy, we don't pay attention. Like, what's going on?
Everything. That's a great question. And everything you just said, we get busy, we get tired. So we start doing takeout, doing less meals at home. We might have disrupted sleep at night, which is another one of the tips. Thanks for leading us right there. Another one of the tips is good quality sleep. If we don't get sleep at night, then we can have the best goals in the world, but we're going to be tired and we're going to reach for coffee, sweets, easy carbs today. So that quick carbs, like cookies, cake, anything where we can get quick energy. It goes away quick, but our body will do whatever it needs to do to power us, basically. And if we're tired and dragging, it's going to reach for whatever quick source of energy it can go for, which is usually empty calories.
So when you take a new client, do you do like a week assessment of everything that they're doing, not sleeping, all of that, and are you creating like a personal individual plan to lose the amount of weight, and they determine how much they want to lose?
So what we do is we look at someone's whole like the whole package, all your overall well-being. So we look at your physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, your environment. How does your house make you feel? Do you walk in and you already feel tired because it's cluttered? And then we'll put that on some of your action steps. So we make a plan for the week, we make steps, and we hold you accountable. And all of these changes, or going back to what was old is new again, the things we were supposed to be doing, or we thought we should do, we'll slowly put them back in. Maybe we even look at the plate size that you're using. We can shrink it down a little bit to help people control portions, because portions can creep up. So really looking at the whole picture, and a lot of that can help. And in terms of losing weight in our midsection, some of that just is a natural result when we start to put these little habits in.
So you're an accountability partner to help them get to understanding their motivation behind wanting to lose weight, because just focusing on losing that weight's not enough. So you basically help her along the way.
Exactly. Yeah. And try to figure out, a lot of people, as you said, like, oh, a lot of the stuff I think I already knew. And yeah, you probably do. And a lot of us know a lot of things we're supposed to do, and something holds us back sometimes. So we sit down and we kind of peel the onion layer away and start to get into the thoughts as well. Sometimes our thoughts sink us before we're even out of the gate.
Especially stressful thoughts.
Yeah, and we call them ants, automatic negative thoughts. So those thoughts that creep in that we would never say to our worst enemy, but yet they come into our head sometimes. So catching them, reframing them. So instead of, oh my God, I'm never going to lose this weight, I didn't hit my goal, or I had a terrible dinner, instead of saying, that's it, I'm a failure, we work on reframing, like, okay, today didn't go as well. Here's what I learned from it. I got really tired. I didn't want to cook. I just reached for something easy. It wasn't the best. Tomorrow I'm going to do better.
Right.
Yeah, totally different way of doing it. And sometimes there are things from our childhood that we brought forward with us, and we've been lugging around for a while that might be holding us back from doing things. But if just to like review, limiting stress, reducing stress, so yoga, meditation, exercise, moving as much as possible, limiting sugar, alcohol, caffeine, any inflammatory foods can help reducing our making us feel good, and also reducing some of that stress hormone that's circulating, which can then help us reduce weight. So you're probably seeing how everything starts to work together.
Yes.
Yeah. And then high fiber foods and fruits and vegetables, and drink water.
So if someone wants to reach you for a consultation, more information about your business, how could she find you?
Yeah, you can contact me at Laurie at wellstylesconsulting.com. That's Laurie. Or just go right to the website, wellstylesconsulting.com, or over to Instagram at wellstylescoach. And there's some fun stuff on Instagram. I like it over there. It's kind of easy to just pop on a tip or two. And sometimes even just tell people to stop scrolling and go to bed. It's time for sleep.
Awesome, Laurie. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me, Sunita.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.